Good morning, everybody. It's me, Ashley Brooke. I wanted to come on today, and I wanted to go over prompting. For those of you guys who are not yet familiar with the term, prompting is, a way to help and teach your child how to do things and to give them direction. And sometimes a child on the spectrum, they need a little more guidance, and they need a little bit more a little bit more prompts. So there is a term called visual prompting. Visual prompting is when you model what you're doing. For example, if I want my I want my daughter to clean her face with a napkin, I will grab, I don't have a napkin right now, but I have my headband. So let's pretend it's a napkin, okay? I will grab the napkin myself, look at my daughter, and tell her, clean your face. And then I'll hand her the napkin, and then she'll look, and then she will copy me by cleaning her face because I visually showed her exactly what to do. Now, I want to talk about visual prompts. To me, it's really important because the way that we process information from outside coming in is, especially if we're given a visual of what to copy. Sometimes when we're supposed to meet an expectation, do something and do it how they want it, we can get a little confused because we're so how would you say it? We like things to be very efficient in our head. We worry that it's not going to be correct. And so I think that kind of makes us second guess ourselves. So it helps with visual prompts if you are standing literally right beside, so they know that they're copying exactly the same movement. Like if my arms go up, her arms will go up the same way next to me. If I'm across from her. And this usually is when I'm asking her to do something. Say I tell her, pick up the pen, and I'm sitting next to her, she'll use the same arm. She'll pick up the pen, she'll look at me, she'll copy me, exactly. But if I'm sitting across from her and I tell her, pick up the pen, and she's sitting across, she might, get, stuck for a second because she's trying to, she's trying to, am I holding in the right hand? And, it's not, those type of things are not very, instinct. It doesn't come automatic sometimes for an autistic child. So it helps in the beginning. I'm not saying we want our children to be able to, be able to sit across and follow an instruction visually, the same way everybody else does. But at least in the very beginning, while you're getting them to that point, to be able to do that, you don't want to start by being right next to them. This is exactly why I don't believe in ABA. A lot of times I'll tell them, do something, and pick up this, do this, and it's very confusing because I'm trying to visually copy you. You're giving me a visual prompt, but then you're giving me a verbal prompt, and you're across from me. So this is causes a little bit more, it's a little more things that I gotta break down, because we're very analytical. So our brains will try to break every single part of that down. For example, they'll be do this. First off, we're gonna be what's this? This is not the actual, term to use for what they're asking me to pick this up and drop that. This doesn't mean pick it up and drop that. That's one little couple of second break of me thinking wait, what? And 2, why? And then 3, you're across from me, and then what? It takes us a second to process exactly what you want, and then by that point, they're hand in hand prompting you, do this, and it's whoa, don't touch me. Causes a lot of confusion, in the communication. But put ABA aside. Just remember, if you're starting off teaching your child how to do something like a physical action, especially if you're asking them to do something with the one hand and not both, you're going to want to put them right next to you, at least. Especially if you're going to teach them a dance move, teach them something. And dancing is very good for autistic kids. Just so you guys know, teaching them instructional dance is really good. But when you first start, they may not pay interest at first because they might get hyperactive and be and run off and giggle or whatever. because they're having trouble understanding exactly the movement, and it's just like, oh, like too much, like they're not sure, but they probably do like it. So next time, and break it down just to one little tiny move at a time, you know, one little step at a time until they can get it, you know, like, and when I say one step at a time, I don't mean like what in the morning do this one and then like later by lunch do that. No, keep practicing the one little step like over a couple of days. Once they get it, then you can move on to another, you know, another one, add another step to it. Get down, girl. You're dancing? She's on top of the bugbear shaking her butt saying dancing. That's my daughter. She's 2. She's on the spectrum. So verbal prompts, you're going to want to keep it. This is for every child though. Keep it. Very few to pretend falling. We've been doing emotional awareness. We're falling? Falling. Oh, I'm gonna save you. Here I come. Save you. Yay. I'm your hero now. I'm your hero now. You love me? It's funny. Okay, sorry guys. That baby's first. Okay, so the hand-in-hand prompting, you guys. Hand-in-hand prompting does work sometimes. It does. It helps, but not by somebody that the child does not know. Also, they have to be eased into that, you know, by getting them used to like touch stimulation if they have that issue. You can't just go straight into hand-in-hand prompting a child on spectrum that's just like resisting and pulling back. Once they've already gotten to that like don't touch me mode, you're causing more harm than good. Hi. I think first steps in doing something like a hand-in-hand prompt for the child on the spectrum is you're gonna want to. They sell this toy, right, that has like it's like a pen, but it has a magnet. And it's like a little board. And it'll want you to trace, so the magnet it'll pull it in and help them trace. So it gives them that physical sensory input. It helps them get used to the fact of somebody coming in and, you know, making them do something. You don't want to just rush a child, especially in the spectrum, to do something without any understanding of what they're doing. It's not good for any child. I don't care what anybody says. Go down, Ozzy. I mean, Izzy. Oops. I named him so similar to I get. I'm not gonna save you this time. You're falling down. She's an actor lately. You guys, come on. I'm on the thing. I told you I was gonna record. Here. Okay, go play. You're funny, bunny. Okay. So yeah, so I just want to go over real fast. So we got the verbal prompts. Less is more when you're giving a verbal prompt. Make sure that you sound reassuring and happy. Don't tell an autistic child with like a monotone voice like to do something. Super like causes a lot of negative stimulation, and when we become like, are you demanding? Because if I don't reach that expectation of yours, then you're mad at me. So it's gonna cause an automatic resisting authority type thing. You know, that's what they always call it on. What's that stupid term? I forget the term, but there's just one term that they try to give autism another label of how like we resist. Okay, that's not true. They're just trying to. I don't know why they keep doing that. So stupid. So that's basically what that whole little term is. That's what's causing it. So make sure you make it very clear, very literal. If you don't make any sense to a literal, you know, analytical mind like autistic people, if you don't make sense, then we're not going to do it, and we're going to resist. Period. Makes sense. Then the visual prompts, yeah, make sure that you're standing right next to them. And physical prompt, which is hand in hand. Make sure it's someone that is very close, like the mother. I always highly suggest only the mother. I don't think anyone else